Woof. Hello, howdy, and welcome to World of Warships Twitch stream highlights with the Tater Dog. Today's video is going to be entitled Warships Chat Session, and I'm going to be using a clip from my stream where I was playing the Tier 9 Russian DD, the Nuestrashimy, in order to talk about the information game that we play with destroyers. At the start of the clip, you can see I'm on Crash Zone Alpha map in domination mode and running full throttle towards the ACAP. Now I have stopped the clip here in order to discuss the information game and what I mean by that. First, let me say that I'm not a Unicum DD player, and I'm not here to tell you or train you how to play DD. I'm merely here to chat and discuss my thoughts as it relates to this clip and how I'm processing information, and hopefully you may hear something that benefits you in your play when you're playing DDs. I should also mention that this discussion is geared towards stealthy type DDs and not gunboats who are less concerned about being spotted. So what do I mean about the DD information game? What I mean by that is all of the information that we gather and process within the game to hopefully help either ourselves or our teammates be as successful as possible. So I can break that down into several categories. The first would be, what are the capabilities of my own ship? Know that. What is the makeup of my friendlies on my team, and maybe some general knowledge about the capabilities of their ship. You also need to look at what does the enemy have? What's the makeup of their team? What ships do they have, and what capabilities are there? Then there's, of course, the dynamic information you're going to be getting during the game, which is the constantly changing locations of the friendlies and of the enemies. You know, where are my friendlies at? Do I have support? Where are the enemies located? Do they have support? And then the last thing is what information you may be able to deny the enemy about yourself in your DD. Can you make deliberate plays to not give away like your location or different things that will give you a higher percentage chance of being successful? Those are the things that I'm talking about. So let's use what we see on the screen right now in this game to set things up. So as I said, I'm charging towards the ACAP full throttle. So let's look at my team. I know what my ship is. I'm in the Nuestrashimy. I'm the most stealthy ship in the game. I have a 5.6 concealment. The rest of my team, I have a Fantastique. That's a gunboat. We have a Moss, which is a kind of a hybrid, not the best concealment. We have a Benham, which is a torp boat. We don't have any radar cruisers on our team. We have our battleships, and we have a Shikaku as a carrier. What do we have on the enemy team? Well, again, they have a carrier, battleships. They have a Baltimore, so they have a radar cruiser, and we need to hopefully know where he's at. We hope we get that information. They have 4 DDs. Those are going to be the guys that I'm most likely to encounter. So what have they got? They've got an Ostergotland. Well, his shtick is he's got fast torpedoes, so we got to watch out for him. He's got pretty good guns too, but I outspot him. The Friesland, he doesn't have torpedoes, but he has really good guns, so we have to understand where he's at and not get in a gunfight with him. We have the Benson. His concealment's not that much worse than mine, so we do need to watch him, and he's a good all-around hybrid torp and gunboat. Again, in the Nuestrashimy, I don't really have the gun power to get in a prolonged gunfight. Even with a heel, I don't want to get in too much of a gunfight with a Benson. I might be able to win it, but I'm probably going to sacrifice too much health. And then they have a Minsk, which is more or less an open water gunboat with poor concealment. So and torpedoes are kind of negligible because they're short range. So he's not much of a threat, although he is fast. So I do have to watch out if he charges my position. So those are the first things that you think about. That's already been processed before I've even headed towards the ACAP. Now, the next thing we're going to be looking at is initial positioning. You know, I can tell from this map already, the enemy CV has planes all the way across the map between the B and C cap, so I really don't care about him. He's not a threat to me right now. The other thing is our own friendly CV has already brought planes across the B cap and is turning to come across A cap to support me. So this is important information. If there happens to be another DD coming towards this cap, he's going to help me. So that's something that I need to know. By using some of the mod station mods I have installed, I can also see that the Baltimore was actually spotted on the other side of the B cap and is not currently a threat, which is great. I can also see that the Ostergotland and the Friesland were both spotted over near the C cap, so they are way too far away to be a threat. What that means is the most likely DDs that I might encounter at the A cap, if they're coming here, would be the Benson or the Minsk. So again, handy information to know and process. So the last thing I'm noting is my friendly support, which is one cruiser and one battleship headed towards the A cap, and there's one battleship leaving the area headed northeast, and another battleship kind of heading in between the A and B cap, so he may provide some help. And lastly, as I already mentioned, the friendly carrier has gone across the B cap and is now turning towards the A cap to support. My current strategy plan is to cap A, either by sticking my nose into the cap or most likely by hanging a quick U-turn and backing into the cap, which is a strategy used a lot to allow you a easier escape should things go sideways and you need to disengage. So I am going to restart the clip again and then stop it when there is a significant change in information, which is right here. So let's look at this new improved state of information here. The biggest feature is that our friendly carrier just spotted the enemy Benson appearing as though he's going to enter the A cap. We're also seeing that the enemy Nelson and Sinop are both headed towards the A cap as well. We have to watch out for that Nelson because he has really nasty HE and can ruin my day. The other thing, if we take a quick look around the map, we still know that the Ostergotland and the Friesland and the Baltimore as well are not threats. They're too far away, and the enemy carrier is still too far away to be a threat as well. So we think we're only going to have to worry about the enemy Benson, although we still don't know where that Minsk is. So we need to consider that. So now what I have to ask myself is, what am I going to do? My original plan was to go into the cap. Am I still going to enter the cap, whether the Benson does or not, to contest it? Although I had to make this decision really quickly in game, we can take a minute here to look at some of the things I had to consider in order to make a decision what to do. The first thing is my boat. What capabilities are ready to go? My repairs ready. Smoke, defensive fire, my heel, those are all ready to go if I need them. I have 1 minute and 26 seconds left on speed boost, so that's a bonus. I also have torps loaded and ready to go, and they have a 10-kilometer range, which at current time will cover the entire A cap if I should choose to launch them. Now, what do I know about the Benson? Obviously know his location and his speed. I know his torp range, and although I'm not in it at current time, I probably will be if we get much closer. I know he has 2 racks of 5 torps, so I know what to expect, and I know they're not very fast torps. So the other thing that's really important to consider is, what do I think the Benson knows about me? Not much. He knows I'm on the enemy team, but that's about it. Another important thing is the radio location skill. I do not have the radio location skill on this boat, and that actually turns out to be a good thing, because with my friendly DDs all being off at the C cap or near the C cap, it's almost certain that the Benson is not being radio located. So he doesn't have that indicator giving him information that he's radio located, which would give him suspicion that there's a DD about to enter the cap and to contest him. There's that. There's also the thing that I'm not radio located. That tells me it's almost certain that the Benson does not have the radio location skill. And of course, then again, that's not pointing him to where I'm at. So information he does not have about me. So other than just knowing that what DDs are on the enemy team, he has no reason to suspect exactly where I'm at or that if I'm even here. So these are all good things. And that's going to play into my final decision, which is going to be not to go into the cap. because if I go into the cap and contest it, that's going to give him information. It's going to tell him that, hey, there's another DD in the cap, and he may react in a certain way that will reduce my chance of success and my team's chance of success against him. So let's restart the clip and see how this plays out. So what I end up doing here is slowing down and turning out. And since the Benson has very little information, really none on me, I decide to target him with torps. I launch one set on his present heading and one behind in case he decides to slow down and smoke up or change course because of being spotted by the carrier. So let's give it a little time and we will see what happens. I'm hoping that with the information I've denied the Benson and the lack of info he has about me, that he continues on present course and ends up eating at least one of my torpedoes. And I don't have to tell you the benefits of getting rid of an enemy DD this early in the game. Let's switch over to the stream audio and see how it sounds. Oh yeah. Woof. And that is the sound of a happy DD player. Getting rid of the Benson that early in the game allowed me to take the A cap and my team to walk over and control this end of the map, which led to our victory in this game. And again, a happy DD player and a happy team. Thanks for watching, and I'd love for you to leave me a comment if you liked any of my perspectives on the DD information game, or perhaps there was something that I didn't think about that I should have that you'd like to leave a comment on. Or maybe I made some errors in gameplay that you'd like to discuss. Feel free to put it in the comments, and we'll see everyone in the next video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to receive notifications of future videos, just ring the bell. Until next time, Tater Dog says, woof.